Okay, I just want to talk to you about some of my fond memories. I remember the first trip me and my parents, my sister went to Disney World. God, I must have been like 5, 6, 7 something. It's so funny, the things I remember. I remember, I remember getting a coonskin hat, which I still got. It's over at my parents' house right now. I remember at the same time, I got me one of those, I've seen them in other little places, but there's little wooden pistol, little flintlocks, little pistols. I remember getting me one of them. It was in like Frontierland or something like that, I can't remember. But I remember going to Epcot Center. I remember going on it. I don't remember much about inside of it, but I do remember being in the little car to go in it. I remember going on a Haunted Mansion ride. I had my eyes closed the entire time. The entire time. I remember, this is the one that I said that's so funny that I remember. I remember the magic shop. There's a magic, well, at least there was when I went there at a time. There's a magic shop. I want to say it's on Main Street. I think, in fact, I believe it's still there because I looked up some magic shops and one of them was at Disney World. So I think that's it. I remember being amazed. I remember, that might be my first touch into the world of magic. I don't remember buying anything, getting anything from there. I remember looking at the stuff and thinking, wow, this is how you do magic. I remember thinking that. And I remember that I don't remember leaving it. I just remember being there. I remember when we drove down there, we drove, and I remember my dad waking us up and telling everybody to look out, and the sky was like black. It was like noon. Excuse me. There's a hurricane coming in. Actually, it was a very, very, very small hurricane to them, but to us who've never seen this stuff before, it like freaked us out. It rained like every single day we were there. I remember going to the shell place. I was big into shells a while back. We went back, I think it was 2-3 years later. We actually stayed at Disney World. And I remember we had the hotel, I can't remember what name it is. But it's one where the monorail comes in the actual building itself. And I remember we went to a luau. They had a Hawaiian themed hotel. We went there to the luau. They had tropical storm hit. And it was amazing. It was a very, 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 very mild tropical storm to the people who live in Florida. But to us, it like blew our minds. That's the first time I ever had mahi-mahi. We went to Gatorland and ate some alligator. I had shark while we were there. That was the last real vacation I remember of all of us together. That must have been 89. No, it could have been 89. That might have been 80 something. But our next vacation, my sister, I don't know where she was at. She was living in Fort Wayne or Idaho, Iowa. Maybe, I can't remember. Maybe she's just in college, but we took a vacation to DC. First time. Been there twice. It's amazing. I remember, I'm big in history if you didn't know that. I remember going to the Lincoln Memorial, and it was pretty cool. But the thing that struck me out one of the most was when I walked away from the Lincoln Memorial and stood at the edge of the reflecting pond, and it was like time froze, and I was the only one in the world, and all I could think of was Martin Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech right there. The protests during Vietnam right there, and all this history that happened right here. It just like blew my mind. I remember watching the changing of the guard. I don't think it was there, so I think it was the second trip. I remember going to the White House and all that stuff. Like a year later, I think we went back. It was just me, my mom, my dad. And I remember going to the Lincoln Memorial, walking down the steps and standing at the edge of the reflecting pond. It wasn't the same. We didn't get to see the changing of the guard then, so President of Uzbekistan came. I remember going to Florida a third time, just me and my mom, before I went to basic training. We went to Universal Studios. It was alright. Terminator ride was so cool, we had to do that one twice. Earthquake ride was cool, kind of. Jaws was like completely lame. The fire was hot. I mean, it was like crinkling hairs and stuff. Awesome to me. We actually stayed down there an extra day and saw a shuttle launch. That was pretty cool. That was intense though. Also, because it's like you're like 10 miles away. You can barely even make out this little dot way over there of what it is. And there's this hotel that sits right on the edge of the lake, or the pond, or the river, or whatever it is that the launching pad's on the other side of. And like a year before the shuttle goes up, the thing's packed. But they have a little bus service and they drive you down there. And it was so cool because this guy's like, hey, well, anybody gets hot or something, just go in my room. You know, I got it on TV. You know, so we'd go in this guy's hotel room and get cool. You know, and we'd watch it on TV, and they got, you know, like, cameras right there. And like a minute before the launch, you know, you're outside watching it. And you don't hear anything. You just see this big old bright flame shoot out the bottom, and you see this little thing start going up, 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 up. This big old trail of smoke, and it's gone. And all of a sudden, the windows start rattling, and this roar just comes shooting past you. And that's when you realize how fast that bad boy's going. I remember my first day in basic. I remember, I'm not ashamed to say what it is, but I remember laying, the first night of actual basic training, that reception, I remember laying in my bunk crying, thinking, what have I got myself into? I remember that. I remember actual tears forming in my eyes. I don't know what to do, and, you know. I remember my first day at college. I remember my parents dropped me off, and I walked down. I was gonna go to the grocery store, get some food stuff while they were left. And bought me a pack of smokes. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make part 2 of this, so